between December 2023 and November 2024, Ziggy paid Lutaga 42,427,540, and prior to, over the period August 2024 to March 2025, Tamiz paid Lutaga 3,250,000.
Which 750 was from Mr. Matlala?
750 are these two Matlala payments?
Yes.
Yes. So the net payment from Tamiz to Lutaga was 2.5 million.
That's correct.
Mr. Chaskason, to assist with the transcription, can you just Lutaga's name, just spell it for the record?
Luthaga, Trading Enterprise. Now, why did Ziggy pay Lutaga 42,427,000 over the period December 2023 to November 2024?
Can I elaborate on that, Council? Can I elaborate?
Can you?
Elaborate, can I?
Please do.
Like I said, I met Mr. Maumela in 2022. We did a lot of work on my house together. We became friendly. Mr. Maumela was a gentleman. He was very helpful. Subsequent to that, we became friends. In about 2023, I was discussing a business idea with him going into a mining project, into a wash plant and a crusher plant with a mine. That was the idea that I had, which I shared with him. Mr. Maumela was quite keen on investing with me, and I said to him, okay, it's fine. If it makes sense and you feel it's good for you, we can go ahead and do this transaction. I then presented a business proposal to him.
Proceedings at the Malanga Commission of Inquiry got off to a dramatic start on Monday when Northwest businessman Solomon Karim took the stand amid a heated dispute between his legal team and commission officials over seating arrangements. The confrontation erupted between Karim's lawyer, Kamel Primheerd, and Commission Secretary Dr. Nolita Vuguza, briefly disrupting the session. Tensions were ultimately diffused after the Commission chairperson Boysen Malanga intervened, prompting Primheerd to apologize for his outburst. Earlier, Malanga had dismissed Karim's request to testify in camera, despite the businessman claiming he had received death threats through phone messages. Karim appeared before the commission to address allegations that he used political connections within the African National Congress to help alleged crime figure Vusimuzi Ket Matlala, widely known as Ket, secure a lucrative 360 million rand contract with the South African Police Service for the company Medicare 24. During his testimony, Karim acknowledged that he had provided 10 million rand in funding to the company after receiving a phone call from Matlala in June 2024, and said, "I know Vusi because we both operate in the security sector." However, he insisted that before the call, he had not previously engaged with Matlala in any business capacity. According to Karim, Matlala informed him that Medicare had secured a medical services contract with SAPS but was struggling with cash flow and needed financial assistance. Karim said he was later introduced to Michael van Wyk, who claimed to be the owner of the Medicare 24 with Matlala, operating as a franchise. Before committing the funds, Karim sought reassurance about the legitimacy of the contract. He approached Bran Mokhotsi, described as a political fixer allegedly close to suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, to verify the deal. Mokhotsi reportedly confirmed that the contract with SAPS was valid. Karim testified that he and Matlala agreed that if he advanced 10 million rand, he will be repaid 20 million rand over a 3-year duration of the contract, and said repayment would be made at the equivalent of 10% of all payments received until the amount of 20 million rand was settled. He expected the first payments by the end of 2024. Instead, he said Madlala became increasingly evasive. By late 2024, Karim told the commission he had grown frustrated and despondent over the lack of payment. He again turned to Mogotsi, asking him to check whether Madlala was receiving purchase orders from SAPS to continue work under the contract. Madlala later approached him in January 2025 requesting additional funding. Karim testified that Mogotsi then proposed a strategy to pressure Madlala into repaying the debt, suggesting that Karim should claim he had close relationship with Mchunu or the minister's office, and said, I advised Brown that this was a joke, as I had no relationship with either the minister or his office. According to Karim, Mogotsi insisted the approach would convince Madlala that Karim's political connections were crucial, thereby prompting him to repay the money. Karim maintained that he had never had any relationship with Mchunu and had never attempted to exert influence over him. He said, in truth, I had and do not have any relationship with the minister. Despite his reservations, Karim said partial repayments eventually began. By mid-March 2025, he had received only 1.75 million rand deposited to the account of his company, Tamis Investments. However, the payment stopped abruptly when Madlala informed him that the Medicare 24 contract had been cancelled. The commission previously heard that the deal was terminated after SAPS National Commissioner Fanny Masemula issued a letter immediately cancelling the agreement. The police service concluded that Medicare 24 had abused the supply chain management system and engaged in fraudulent and corrupt practices during the tender process. Meanwhile, Karim's legal representatives have also accused the Commission's evidence leaders of trying to introduce new matters that are not within the previously agreed scope. In February, the Commission postponed Karim's testimony by a month after his lawyers complained of receiving documents late and not having sufficient time to consult with him. It's understood that the evidence leaders handed over 6 pages and a spreadsheet to Karim's lawyers between Saturday and Monday morning. Karim's lawyer Rafik Bana has been speaking at the commission on Monday morning and said whether it is 1 page or 6, consultations are set up with the witness. Consultations are held, and despite correspondence from my attorneys, don't drip feed us with documents. Documents just keep appearing with no explanation as to why they were not given. Bana has also raised concern with the Commission introducing new issues and said there are going to be constant objections from our side, and those objections are not because we are in any way want to be obstructive, but Mr. Karim's rights have to be protected, the terms of reference of the Commission have to be respected, and the principle of legality has to be applied. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.